What up, fam? Efresh here, and I'm back with an all-new video, and today we are back in the world of Destiny 2. Today's video is gonna be me starting off the new season on a good note. So I decided, let me make a video to give you guys some insight on what weapons you should have going into Season 19. Now, as you see here, Bungie released some pretty good tidbits on what's coming in Season 19, so they pretty much just told us what artifact mods are going to be happening next season. And as you see here, it says the Season 19 artifact will have anti-champion mods for hand cannons, scout rifles, bows, pulse rifles, auto rifles, and submachine guns, as well as the return of the unstoppable grenade launcher mod, badass. The Lucid Finisher mod returns to help you generate some heavy ammo, also badass. We've also got some new twists on a few old favorites, including a version of passive guard that works with glaives, and this is the real big one, a reprisal of breach and clear designed to interact with Void 3.0. That's going to be huge because breach and clear was I'm going to say it is the greatest artifact mod that we've had in this game. Maybe with restoration being like a close second, because it just made you stay alive and become like God basically. But breach and clear for damage is the best overall mod that has happened, and the fact that it's coming back in some kind of way with Void 3.0, I'm pretty excited about that. All right, back to my Guardian. I'm going to show you some weapons that I think you should bring into Season 19 that are going to be very, very helpful for you guys. Number one, we're going to start off with a submachine gun I think you should have. That is the Blood Feud. It is a stasis submachine gun. Remember, as I said earlier about stasis, it's kind of get reworked into going into this next season. So, yeah, this one's stasis, and I have one with Headstone and Right Hook and Ambitious Assassin. Well, Right Hook is an intrinsic perk, but that's for everybody. But yeah, mine has Ambitious Assassin and Headstone. Two great perks work together. Headstone for stasis is amazing. Precision Final Blows spawn a stasis crystal at the victim's location. Highly recommend you get one with Headstone. It's going to be great with a stasis build next season. Next up, let's talk auto rifles. For stasis next season, I have the Adagio and Overflow Crate. Again, it is stasis. This gun's really good. I used this a lot during Witch Queen, and I kept this. It is a really, really good auto rifle that I think you should definitely take into Season 19 with you. I'm also going to recommend this auto rifle here, Duty Bound. As you see here, mine has triple tap, and it's got 4 times the charm, which means as long as I'm hitting crits, I don't have to reload. It's just straight shots over and over and over with the magazine just staying filled. And what's great about this is for in-game content, when it came to overloads, I could just constantly keep stunning overloads over and over and over. And I highly recommend you have this. I think it's gonna be taken out of the loot pool next season, so that you won't be able to get it. But if you have one, and you have one with these perks, highly recommend you bring that going into next season. Okay, let's talk pulse rifles. As you see here, I'm bringing in the Smite of Moraine pulse rifle that you can get from the new King's Fall raid, quote unquote new. And the version I have has stats for all, and it's got 1 for all. This is a really solid, good pulse rifle I think you should bring into next season. For in-game content, it's really good as well. And these 2 perks together are always incredible. So if you have one with these 2 perks, salute. But this is an overall good pulse rifle I think you should bring going into next season. But the gun I recommend the most is going to be this new purpose that you can get from the Duality Dungeon. Why? Because it's stasis. That's why. Number 2, it's got adaptive munitions, basically meaning anything that's not a stasis shield, this gun will chew through it. And it's one of the only primaries in the game that has this perk. So I highly recommend, if you don't have a new purpose, you should definitely go farm that Duality Dungeon and try to get you one with adaptive munitions. Next up, we have hand cannons. There's plenty of hand cannons you can choose. I'm just going to recommend this one right here because it's the king hand cannon of all king hand cannons. That is the Fatebringer. I have one with Firefly and explosive payload, and this gun is going to be great for champions. It's great for PvE. It's the best PvE hand cannon I think in the game. So if you have a Fatebringer time loss or a Fatebringer in general, highly recommend you bring that going into Season 19. As for primary scouts, I'm only going to recommend, there's plenty of other ones. Primary scouts are fine, but I'm always going to recommend this Night Watch because it's the old trusty Night Watch with Overflow and explosive payload. I've used this for the longest. I've gone through multiples of these. This gun has always been amazing, and you can get it by simply just doing the beginning missions with Shalhan from the beginning of the D2 campaign. Highly recommend this one. There's nothing else that needs to be said. Just go get you a night watch. And finally, let's talk grenade launchers. Yes, grenade launchers, remember, are going to be unstoppable. You can't get better than a Wither Horde. Let's just be honest. This is the king shit of all king shits. Wither Horde was the greatest exotic in PvE, I think, personally, in Destiny, like overall. So highly recommend you have your Wither Horde with you. It is getting a slight nerf with the blight on the ground having less time, but other than that, it doesn't really matter. This gun is absolutely incredible. Highly recommend you bring a Wither Horde with you. As for primary, there's going to be two. Number one, Lingering Dread, which yet again, as you remember, is stasis, and it comes with chill clip. This is another one you can get from Duality, so if you're able to get your hand on one of these, highly recommend it. But my favorite overall grenade launcher in this one, and this one I'm working my ass off to get, it's gonna be this one right here, Ignition Code. I worked for months to get this role. Excuse me. Now the role I wanted was Blinding Grenade, Slide Shot, maybe Danger Zone, but I got Vorpal, which I'm not mad about. But these two are the most important ones, Slide Shot and Blinding Grenade. So basically, you just run, shoot, run, slide, shoot, run, slide, shoot, run, slide, shoot, over and over and over. And this gun is absolutely incredible. I will never get rid of this gun. I don't recommend anybody get rid of this gun if you have it. But basically, this is going to be probably my go-to when it comes to breach grenades in next season of season 19, whatever the season is going to be called. So Ignition Code is one of the main ones I'm going to recommend that you take into next season with you. Now let's go to the energy slot. I'm just going to start off number one with Forbearance. Yep, it is a breach grenade launcher that's a waveform, I should say. And of course, look at this. Chain reaction. That's the main thing I wanted with this. It's the first one I got when I did Violent Disciple Raid. I wish this was Ambitious Assassin, but it's not, and I'm okay with that. It's fine. Either way, this one's gonna be great. Again, remember, grenade launchers are gonna be for Unstoppable as well, so this is gonna come in handy. But this is just an ad clearing machine, so I highly recommend Forbearance. Another one I'm also gonna recommend is the Explosive Personality, which you can craft. As you see here, the one I have crafted is Stats for All and One for All. And this is a great grenade launcher that I think is going to be good next season as well. I highly recommend that if you have a crafted one, and these two work together, awesome. I love it. Now for my final grenade launcher in this slot, this is the one I wanted to come back to because remember, Breach and Clear is going to be reworked with Void 3.0. So if you have yourself a Deafening Whisper, which as you see here is a wave-based Void grenade launcher, I think this is going to be special going into next season. I'm just going to call it. This is one of my predictions. Mine has Surplus and Rampage, which I think is just great together. And this is going to be a gun I think next season is going to be really good because Breach and Clear is the best. I'm going to say it again. I still think it's the best overall artifact mod we've had when it comes to damage. And I think next season with it being worked in the 3.0 for Void and using this grenade launcher, I think special things are going to happen. Okay, let's talk about some bows. I think Strident and Whistle is a good bow you should ever take into next season. As you see here, you can do a bunch of strikes. This is what I did. I finally got one more Incandescent. I got one more Perpetual Motion. Two great perks that work well together as well. There's plenty of different options that I could choose from. But Strident and Whistle is going to be a bow I think you should go into next season when it comes to the anti-champion mod. So if you got a good Strident and Whistle, definitely bring one with you. Another one I'm going to recommend, maybe you kept this one from a while back. This is the oldie but a goodie, Arsenic Bite. I kept this one for the longest because it's got Rampage and Explosive Head. Explosive Head is an incredible perk when it comes to bows and overload champions because when it explodes, it just keeps stunning them over and over and over. Highly recommend if you have one. Be glad you kept this, and I think you can still get it. I'm not sure, but if you can't, I hope you kept one because this is also a really good bow to take in the next season as well. Now, if we talk about auto rifles, let's just be real. Just get you an Amit AR2. That's it. That's it. Just get you an Amit. There's some other ones that are pretty good, but just get you an Amit. As you see here, Incandescent, Ambitious Assassin. I love this auto rifle in PvE. Just get you an Amit, man. Just get an Amit. When it comes to pulses, highly recommend, yet again, BXR 55 Battler. I worked my ass off for this one too. If you know my previous video, it took me forever to get 5 red borders to make this weapon. I finally did it, and man, it's incredible. For PvE, I got Demolitionist, Incandescent, so next season, highly recommend you bring this one with you as well. I'm also going to recommend, if you did the Valve Disciple, you can go in with this Insidious. I think this is a really good one to whoa, especially for in-game. It hits like a truck. It's got great range, and the perks that I have for mine are Adrenaline Junkie and Rapid Hit. Rapid Hit being the most important part for me. Like I said, with in-game content, this is a really good pulse rifle to use, and I just love it. And aesthetically, it just looks badass. So, yeah, bring you an Insidious one when it comes to your champions as well. And last but not least, we can go to submachine guns. Callus Mini Tool, can't go wrong with it. This is probably moved up into my top 3 of my all-time favorite guns in this game life cycle period. I love the Callus Mini Tool. It is one of my favorite guns of all time. And as I see, threat detector and incandescent crafted, it's such a good gun. It's such a good gun. I'm also gonna recommend that you bring the Unforgiven that you can also farm and get from the Duality Dungeon. It's a void one, and this one's special because they can come with a repulsor brace, which defeating a void debuff target grants an overshield, and I think that's a really good perk to have when you go going with a Void 3.0 build. I also have mine with Feeding Frenzy, which helps as well with the reload speed. Overall, though, this is a really good submachine gun. I definitely think you should bring into next season. So yeah, these are weapons I think you all should have going into next season. Now, I didn't talk about too many exotics. I definitely think you should go in with a Wish Ender as well, because of course, for anti-barrier. You can go in for Le Monarch because of overload. So those are 2 other bows that I think you should definitely bring the next season with you. Arbalest, another exotic that you could bring into, because Arbalest is always just going to be king when it comes to anti-barriers as well. And let's not forget, remember, going into the next season, it being a rework of Stasis, do not forget Ager's Scepter. Do not. I don't have it on me. I mean, I could easily bring it. But Ager's Scepter is one that you should definitely consider coming in the next season for reworking your Stasis build. So I'm looking forward to next season. I hope it's going to be good. This season, y'all know how I feel. There's no need for me to say it again. Fucking sucked. But next season, I have hopes, man. I'm going in with a clear mind, with a healthy mind, and I'm going in with positivity, thinking next season's going to be good. Bungie, don't fail me. That being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this was informative for you. I don't know why I just said video like that. It's like I'm drunk or some shit. But I hope this was very informative for you guys. And I hope next season's good. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Yeah, I'm out.